This story must be about the impeachment proceedings. Yesterday was a seminal moment. Donald Trump's donor, also the man he appointed as U.S. ambassador to the European Union, Gordon Sondland, made some major revelations. He said that American military aid to Ukraine was linked to Ukraine beginning an investigation against the Bidens, Trump's political rivals. And Donald Trump cannot dismiss these claims because Sondland and Trump were so close at one point that they indulged in profanity-laced banter.
You confirmed to President Trump that you were in Ukraine at the time and that President Zelensky, quote, loves your ass, unquote. Do you recall saying that?
Yeah, it sounds like something I would say. That's how President Trump and I communicate, a lot of four-letter words. In this case, three-letter.
That's how they communicate, he says. But the bigger missile was the quid pro quo comments.
As I testified previously, Mr. Giuliani's requests were a quid pro quo for arranging a White House visit for President Zelensky. Mr. Giuliani demanded that Ukraine make a public statement announcing the investigations of the 2016 election, DNC server, and Burisma. Mr. Giuliani was expressing the desires of the President of the United States, and we knew these investigations were important to the President.
Quid pro quo. In legal parlance, that means a favor granted in return for something, a barter of sorts. Now, if the President is found indulging in quid pro quo, then this is an impeachable offense. You know how Donald Trump reacted to this? He quoted another comment of Gordon Sondland to save the day.
Now, if you weren't fake news, you'd cover it properly. I say to the ambassador in response, I want nothing, I want nothing, I want no quid pro quo. Tell Zelensky, President Zelensky, to do the right thing. So here's my answer. I want nothing. I want nothing. I want no quid pro quo. Tell Zelensky to do the right thing. Then he says, this is the final word from the President of the United States. I want nothing. Thank you, folks. Have a good time. I'm going to bed.
Now, the talk of the town is not just the desperation of Donald Trump to deride these hearings, but the note from which he read out these comments. Look at this Sharpie scroll, which Trump loves. Trump even uses Sharpie pens to sign executive orders. I want nothing, this says. I want no quid pro quo. Tell Zelensky, President Zelensky, to do the right thing. This is the final word from the President of the U.S. Look at them, thick all caps. Look at them carefully again. The Ukrainian president's name is spelt wrong. That's typical Trump. The photographer who clicked the Sharpie note picture is a celebrity now, and with good reason. By the way, this is not the first time that Donald Trump has been caught using a Sharpie. Last year, he had a listening session with survivors of gun violence. Again, the POTUS had Sharpie notes with instructions in bold. One of them screamed, I hear you. If the president has to feel sympathy, he needs it scribbled in thick fonts in a Sharpie pen. Forget about sympathy. The president even uses Sharpie pens to give false weather alarms. On your screens, that Hurricane Sharpie map. This is epic.
It took a right turn, and ultimately, hopefully, we're going to be lucky. It depends on what happens with South Carolina and North Carolina.
Some trivia now. Donald Trump loves Sharpies and hates traditional government pens. Last year, he said as much in a TV interview. Besides, Sharpie created a personalized black pen for the US president to scribble his way to glory, and he's not disappointing them, it seems. Trump can read out all he wants to from the Sharpie Scrabble, but the noose is tightening. The impeachment probe is getting serious. Trump still has the numbers in the Senate, but a few more witnesses like his pal Sondland, and Trump may be in trouble. But it has been great for the while that it has lasted. Donald Trump's presidency. The whole world seems to be having fun at the expense of Trump's notes. Look at the variants. It has even fueled pop anthems. Donald Trump is the toast of Twitter.
Zelensky to do the right thing. I want nothing. I want nothing. I want no quid pro quo. This is the final word from the President of the United States.
Jokes apart, it's really sad that the president has to read out such simple statements from a note. Last month, Donald Trump took a letter-writing masterclass to the world. I'm talking about the leaked letter to Turkey's President Erdogan. Do you remember that? Now, these Sharpie notes. As the impeachment proceeding heats up, we do not know what else we'll learn from the President of the United States. The proceedings themselves resemble the iconic movie on the Watergate scandal that rocked Nixon's term as president, All the President's Men. Now, Trump can safely add all the president's men and his Sharpie notes. This quid pro quo story is evolving.